2017 was an amazing year for games. At least in my time, it could have been a contender for the best year for games, and some people agree, putting up with some years like 1998 in terms of quality. Almost every publisher had something that could have contended for Game of the Year. Nintendo with two major hitters being Super Mario Odyssey and of course, Breath of the Wild, Sega with Sonic Mania, and some smaller companies like Atlus releasing the much acclaimed Persona 5. Before I get to ranking my personal top 5, I have a few disclaimers. First of all, I have not played the following. The next disclaimer is that ports are viable for this list, but only to games I haven't played before. For example, Mario Kart 8 would not be on the list as I've already played Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U, but if you want to hear my thoughts, I did do an old review on it which you can find in the description below. Finally, if I did not list a game or if you disagree for placement on this list, be sure to tell me down in the comments below. I am Cybershroom for the top 5 games of 2017. Honorable mentions. These are games that did not make the list for one thing or another, but still worth mentioning. Cuphead has been honestly the only Microsoft game in the last few years that have caught my interest. A Contra-inspired shoot-'em-up platform with graphics of 1930s. Seems interesting. Then it released and I liked it. And yeah, that's the only thing I can really say. Graphically, I've not seen a platformer since Rayman Origins that have pulled off the cartoony level design this well. Like, I had more fun watching people play Cuphead because it gave off the vibes of a cartoon, something it was willing to do and excelled at it. Not to say it's perfect, the bosses were each are well designed and fun besides the plain levels because those could stop existing. The run and gun stages were a mixed bag with debatably bad enemy placement, and also I think it was just to add a fake level of difficulty to an already challenging game. Yeah, Cuphead is hard, you will die a lot. However, unlike the run and gun stages, bosses are actually fun to die to because you get to learn their patterns and you feel a real accomplishment when you actually beat them. Cuphead is incredibly cheap and runs on most computers. Grab a friend and try it out. There's no way Microsoft is going to let Studio MDHR get away without making a sequel, so maybe in a few years, Cuphead 2 could actually be on the list. Splatoon 2 is not on the list for several reasons. First of all, I just started playing it about a week ago and haven't finished the story mode, and I don't feel like I will. Well, because Splatoon 2 feels more like Splatoon Deluxe. I mean, it's a sequel, so I'm not expecting a major overhaul, but could a little bit just been more done, guys? Really? Just a little bit more. The major thing of Splatoon 2 disappointed me on was the lack of new to story mode. They can excuse the multiplayer because that's not going to change. Best we're going to get is a few new game modes and stages. The story mode I was hoping to not only expand on the platforming, but give new ideas, you know, maybe like a bot match where you would fight with fellow computer squids, and maybe a more story driven scenario. But nope, they just used the same plot device from the first Splatoon, and they even call it out in the beginning of the game. It may seem that I'm hating on the game right now, but I know I love Splatoon. Multiplayer, while it's the same, it's still enjoyable with friends, and the new mode added, Salmon Run, I've already spent hours on. If you got a Nintendo Switch, this is a title to try it out. The leaked details of the 5.0 Switch update is going to make Splatoon 2 a lot better. Wait, that was fake? An actual sequel done right. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is the first Dragon Ball fighting game we've seen on a home Nintendo console since the Wii days with Tenkaichi Budokai 3. I really like the original Xenoverse on PlayStation 3. It had problems, but Xenoverse 2 fixes it for the most part. There are still balancing issues with characters, and there were so many clones that Smash Bros. Did not even compare to. Yeah, I wish there was some kind of representatives also from the original Dragon Ball. I felt like Tao Tao Pai. Maybe Kid Goku with his power pole that's not the GT variation would have been nice. However, Xenoverse 2 makes it up with some great multiplayer raids, quests, and matches. I'm not going to state all the differences between the first and the sequel. If you're interested in Dragon Ball Z, Super, or GT, pick up Xenoverse 2. It just got really hard out of nowhere. Like, I still stand on what I said in my review, but shortly after I got to the third world, the game spiked so hard I had to put it down. If you want to hear my full thoughts, go watch my mushroom reviews down in the description. I guess you could call this number 6 on the list. Snipper Clips Cut Out Together is a new IP by Nintendo, and me and my friends, we really enjoyed the game more than we should have. Snipper Clips is just a small puzzle game that requires you and a friend to solve some frustrating puzzles, but solving them filled me with so much accomplishment because I would spend like usually an hour or so, not really an hour, but you kinda know what I mean trying to solve one. I could never put it down until every single challenge was done. A weakness that the game has is that it's only about 2 hours long, but for $20 it ain't the end of the world. It has DLC if you want more content. Like Cuphead, I see Snipper Clips having a lot of potential in a sequel. Until then, give the original a try, one of the best local multiplayer experiences on the Nintendo Switch so far. With all the honorable mentions out of the way, here's my list starting at number 5. Number 5. I never grew up with Naughty Dog's Crash Bandicoot. The only Crash games I played were Crash Bash, Crash Transsanity, and Crash Nitro Kart. All great games, but after hearing about everyone gushing over the original PS1 trilogy for so long and never actually sat down and played them, after hearing the announcement of remakes for all of them in one collection, I thought why not marathon the collection for the next 2 days. I gotta say I agree, the original Crash trilogy is something special. The Insane trilogy really gave the word remake some actual meaning. The visuals are night and day. It's not just a port that companies claim are remakes, no, this was built from the ground up. My favorite out of the 3 is Crash 1 for the difficulty curve, but all of them still should be played fully. Makes you wonder what other franchises could benefit from remakes. Banjo-Kazooie, Spyro the Dragon, maybe another remake of Super Mario 64 is just what we need in this gaming market. If you have not played a Crash Bandicoot game and want to try out one of the first 3D platformers given a modern look, buy the Insane Trilogy, one of the best PS4 games I've played. Number 4. I'm a fan of the older Harvest Moon titles, with myself doing a neat little review of Save the Homeland, which you could watch later. I've grown bored of the series, however, after a slew of meh titles over the years, so when I saw people were going to try the formula in their own image, I went and skipped it. But when they released a port on the Nintendo Switch, I gave it a shot and well, I love it. Stardew Valley is not a flashy game. You will not find the combat that deep or complex. The main selling point of Stardew Valley and the reason I sunk so many hours into it is well, you just live a second life. Some days you'll wake up and water your plants and then spend time deciding should you go into the mines and look for minerals or should you expand your farm and clear out trees. There are many things you could do in Stardew Valley. Where you become an award-winning farmer producing gold star produce, a master fisherman, a cave explorer smithing gold bars to make bank, or just settling down for family while restoring Pelican Town. Go give Stardew Valley a shot, either on the newly released Switch port or the many ports on other consoles. It's only $15 and you'll easily sink in 20 hours and still want to play more. Number 3. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, a controversial game to some people. They say it's underwhelming, it's not Ocarina worthy, it does not deserve Game of the Year. My thoughts? It's not perfect, I wish there were more interesting NPCs, maybe a few tweaks to the story to make Ganon more intimidating, but other than that, I think this is honestly the best Legend of Zelda game. Being from a casual Zelda fan of course, I like the Legend of Zelda series, but I barely played any of the titles. However, when I saw Breath of the Wild, and I also saw it was going to be a Nintendo launch title, I picked right up on that. Breath of the Wild, it's a hard game. Like, the beginning contains a very steep learning curve, just throwing you into the game, just like Zelda 1. Not every enemy you're going to be able to take down first time, so there are going to be points where you gotta retreat. You will discover new recipes on all foods, and gain an advantage in battle. Any gamer needs to play Breath of the Wild. As a person who got bored with open world games, Breath of the Wild really showed that it can be amazing. If I had to rank my top 10 games of all time, Breath of the Wild would be up there. Get it on the best way to play it being the Nintendo Switch. Sure, it's on the Wii U, but by having the same experience but also being a portable, it's the definitive choice. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild simply was the best launch title for a Nintendo console since Super Mario 64 and the N64. Something you can't pass up, and honestly has me excited for the next entry in the Zelda series. Just remove weapon breaking though, that was dumb. I mean, that made cool weapons literally pointless. Number 2. Guys, check it. A Sonic game on a top 10 games list. Something has not been heard since generations. On top of that, a 2D Sonic game. Who cares if Sonic Team did not make this? Sonic Mania is good. Really good. Like so good I reviewed it twice. So good I dedicated a whole month of Sonic videos to it. So good that people who don't like Sonic thinks it's good. Sonic Mania is a return to form for the blue blur, given what everyone can agree with. A proper sequel to the classic Sonic games on the Sega Genesis, while also paying homage to many other games not even from Sonic. I really hope Christian Whitehead sticks around for many more entries. Mania actually got people to start praising Blue Blur, showing that there could still be potential in the series. Until Sonic Forces, but we're going to ignore that. The new zone's amazing, even complex, and they sound great. The music you're hearing right now, Studiopolis, the next best zone in the whole franchise. If you have not played a Sonic the Hedgehog game before, either because of the negative reception of games, the OCs, the memes, give Mania a shot. It's only $20, but the amount of replayability, they could easily charge more for it. There's even a Knuckles and Knuckles mode. Why have you not bought it yet? Was there really no other contender for Game of the Year? Super Mario Odyssey. Every time I look back, I get more depressed that I was not able to do a review on it because this game surprised me. I was already going with high standards because I mean it's a sequel to Mario 64 and Sunshine, how could it not be good? But Odyssey somehow went beyond my expectations, breaking free and doing its own thing that makes it the Mario game that sticks out the most. From traveling in a factory that looks a crap ton like Planet Wisp with music from Smash Brothers, to traversing a realistic city being chased by a T-Rex on a motorcycle, to fighting an 8-bit version of Donkey Kong with a vocal Mario song, you even get to play as Bowser, something that normally does not happen in a main series Mario game. Just like Breath of the Wild, Nintendo has made two of its biggest franchises experiences just within the first year of the latest console, and almost every game in 2017 could be an experience. Even games not on this list, there have been something outstanding that's made each and every release something magical. Super Mario Odyssey shows that the series, as old as it is, can still have some of the best moments in any gamer's heart. I wonder if 2018 will be able to deliver as good as an experience as 2017. I mean, we do have games like Kingdom Hearts 3 releasing, but until then, I have a lot of games I still gotta replay. What was your top 5 games of 2017? No, scratch that. List all the games you thought were good in 2017 down in the description below. If you have not yet subscribed yet, I highly recommend you do. I do reviews, top 10s, and live streams. Be sure to follow me on Twitter. If you really want to show support, check out my Patreon in the comments below. Anyhow guys, I am Cybershroom, and I hope you have a good one.